Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 38 of our Interplanetary Voyage. And we have once again the need for more Karborundrum. And we have already, docked our Karborundrum guy and taken out everything that there was in it to basically the space station, but now we need to get it back to low solar orbit. And me being the completionist that I am, I have to show you this. I know it's the content you have seen before, so this way I'll try to make it shorter and snappier. So I'm getting it again once in 5.3 million meters around the sun, and after that it won't be returning back to Kerbal. I'm thinking I'll probably ship it off either to Doudna or Lathe, because I'm making some preparations basically to put things there as well, and some of the ships are already en route. So I think in the orbit around Lathe would be a good place for another Karborundrum dock. And while we're discussing that, we have another burn that is 40-second burn, 1718.3 meters per second. I don't know what's wrong with my English. I guess it got broken somewhere during the process, but I mean, you guys already know me, it's broken half of the time, so nothing strange here. Nothing to see here, move along, as they would say in South Park, I guess. Okay. 3 meters and 3 minutes and roughly 2 minutes and 53 seconds, and let me just time accelerate until we get to the burning point. We are executing it with the remote text, so no need for me to actually be paying attention to it. I'll rather just sit back and enjoy the show. Or the wet noodle show, where not the wet noodle, but, nudging show. Hi, 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 hi. Yeah, I'll try to not to be too annoying. Okay, that being said, this is something that we need to burn to just get to the correct orbit. Great. And today we have a sneak preview of another craft that I've been developing. It's the one that I've been touting a little bit in the previous episode. You're just gonna get a sneak peek, but for sure there will be a later episode on how to build it. However, for the time being, let us just enjoy this beautiful view of our Karborundrum collector, which has proven highly successful for us. And it's going away from Kerbal onwards, once again back on its solar orbit. I really like, how this functionality works for him, but I'd argue for the next Karborundrum collector ship, I would want it to be significantly bigger, to be honest. So yes. Beautiful view of leaving Kerbal. Definitely screenshot-worthy material. And let's kick the time acceleration a little bit. It doesn't have the warp drive or anything fancy like that. It's just regular old time acceleration. And given that the fact that I'm showing this episode in, I think 2 times time is accelerated, so just to keep things moving. I felt the previous episode was a little bit, dragged on, and I would prefer to keep my content more snappier, but yeah, okay, that's it. Now, the next thing to happen on our alarm clock is the Doudna Pioneer base, which is supposed to do some of the correction burns. However, let's first make sure that we leave the sphere of influence, and I set up another maneuver node, which will be the circularization one. So let's just burn until we get 5.3 million by 5.3 million meters. I'd say I'm pretty happy with that one, and we don't really need to tweak it to the finesse. Okay. I say that's about okay. Now let's just hold the maneuver prograde, and after which we will be doing the maneuver simply, but that's gonna happen in 97 days. So there's still some time until it, or 144 days, sorry. Moving onwards, I think the next thing to happen would be the Doudna Pioneer Base Mark II. And let's just kick into high gear a little bit so that we execute a correction burn for it. Okay, here is our Doudna Pioneer Base. And we have a total burn of 247 meters per second. Pointing the node maneuver prograde. Now, we have a 247 meters per second to burn, 88 seconds. Not a huge burn, but we have to do it to get into a good intercept with Doudna. .90 meters per second remaining. Let's keep an eye on our Doudna window so that we can ensure that we get a good encounter. 20, 10, and come on, it should start showing. Here it is, and careful, got it. Great. That covers the Doudna maneuvers. Okay, and I believe now we should be showing you the craft that I will be building. Yes, it's an awesome lathe SSTO. Well, that's supposed to take cargo to lathe. And the cargo being the rover dude, Caribou mobile base. So I have built a rover using the Caribou components. And this bad boy will be taking that Caribou mobile rover all the way up to the lathe and basically landing there and hopefully, doing stuff. So I have emptied my tanks, Karborundrum tanks, because I want to be refueling it with the Carborundrum that we get off of the station. And for that purpose, I'm building another Carborundrum retriever. This is a craft that we know and love. We have built it, we have sent it already, and the whole point of it is to go up to the station, retrieve some Carborundrum, and hopefully land on the nose in the KSC. Or at least that's how it's supposed to work in theory. To be honest, it never works like that, so yes. But then again, what can you do? So we are rolling out to the launch pad. Let's launch it. Okay, let's just wait until we get the refueling station in the favorable position in the orbit, which will be rather soon. I always miss it by a little, so this time I'm gonna be, given the low thrust to weight, I'm gonna be just kicking it. 3, 2, 1, go! And we have liftoff. I'll just reduce a little bit ambient lighting. Great. Our solids are giving us a good kick, after which our Rhino engine can take off. I know Rhino engine is typically used for higher places in the orbit, but it has a very good fuel economy, which is something that I want to use. Alrighty then, we are passing the cloud layer roughly at 8,000 meters, and we are climbing ever so steadily. So this is a craft that we have already tested and work with, so this is nothing out of the ordinary with this launch. However, I mean, it's still important that we get our Karborundrum and retrieve it. It's the landing back to the KSE that is the tricky part. Alright, our apoapsis is at 101, good. And we are missing the station by a large margin, but no matter. I will still make sure that we circularize, maybe go a little bit higher in the orbit, and then do the rendezvous dance as we do always. Yeah, we go a little bit higher, then we accelerate. And at some point we should hopefully, yeah, see, there we go. We have a close encounter, not the closest, but close enough. Deploy. Let's extend. Where is my communitron? Somewhere, anywhere, please. Ah, there you go. Great. Extend. Perfect. We have 937 meters per second to burn for the circularization. So let's just orient ourselves in the right direction, and then we will be kicking the gas. Three, 2, 1, go. Alright, oh, and then we have a disappearing bug. Okay, we just quickly repress M. Sure. Okay. Now let's talk about rendezvous. Now, if at periapsis I decide to go like this, we will have a perfectly viable encounter for a total of 6.1 meters per second. Awesome. We have still 900 meters per second in the lower stage. So let's do a quick spin around the orbit and get us to that burn. Seconds to burn, and let's just slowly kick the gas, cook, and there we go. Decent encounter with target relative maybe a couple of 100 meters per second, which is fairly okay, I would say, but I will be decelerating using this ascent stage, but when we get closer I'll ditch it for easier maneuverability, that's for sure. And there we go. So our refueling station is at 3.7 kilometers, and I'm just thinking I can ditch it. And then let's just make sure that we burn towards the target. Or actually I'm working on aligning these two target retrograde markers, so to say. Yeah. I'll just use the RCS to accelerate a little bit towards the target. I have plenty of RCS, and this is something I want to just utilize. .4 kilometers, we should get a physics bump anytime soon. There it is. Okay, and we are closing in on the Kerbal refueling station. I'm just accelerating a little bit, like 20 meters per second should get us fast enough there. Or should get us there fast enough. Like I said, broken English. .12 meters per second at 800. We are on the dark side, but I'm hoping the sun should be peeking out any moment. 450 meters off, and I'm already getting set up to use my docking alignment mod. I don't want to be going to the bottom docking port, but I want to be able to select the docking port that I want manually, so yes. I am close enough, almost. Okay, decelerated to the point where I could really choose a port. Come on, set as target, see? And now we can just make sure that we are aligned correctly and, well, yeah, go towards the docking port. What can I tell you? Come on. And at this point I was actually trying to press my keyboard buttons and try to find what was the correct, rotation commands. So that's why you can see my craft going all willy-nilly. There we go, making sure that we have the orange reticule smack into the middle. And there's the sunlight. Oh, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna keep the orange whisker on the top because that makes my controls a whole lot easier. I've adjusted my C relative velocity just to make sure that I'm going in the right direction, and okay, we are properly aligned, and now it's time to just burn for the correct alignment. Now it's just time to translate to make sure that we are in the right place. I obviously wanted to keep a screenshot for posterity, and I think, guys, I'll keep this as a short and snappy episode, so once we dock, I'll call this for this episode. But there are more exciting stuff coming on the horizon, so yes. And there's another reason. There is one more technology, as cool as a jump drive, being developed at the KSC at this very moment, and pretty soon I'm thinking that the research will come to fruition so that we will be able to execute, well, first launches and field tests sooner rather than later, but I will be talking about that in the future episodes, of course. It is one part of one mod, which is also using Karborundrum, but I haven't seen people playing with it so far, almost like at all, and that requires me also to take out my drones and robotic ships and ship them off to the faraway places where they should be serving some higher purpose, hopefully. Okay, coming in, and just carefully, ever so carefully, and we have a dock. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, from me for this episode. So like if you like, hit subscribe for more KSP content that will be coming soon. And I'll see you all in the future episode as soon as I transfer all of the fuel to this Joker. And until the next episode, guys, thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing off.